Here are your Court News Ohio top stories in 5 minutes. The Ohio Supreme Court on May 14th ruled that a child sex abuse victim has 12 rather than 2 years to file a lawsuit against the state once that victim, in most cases, turns 18 years old. In the 4-3 decision, the majority concluded that when the General Assembly in 2006 expanded the statute of limitations for childhood sex abuse victims to 12 years, the longer time frame took precedence over a different statute that put a 2-year limit on civil suits against the state. The ruling reversed a 10th District Court of Appeals judgment.
In another 4-3 decision, the Ohio Supreme Court on May 21st ruled that a campus police department at a private university is a public office and must provide public records when asked. The court ordered the Otterbein University police chief to produce criminal records that were requested by a news editor at a student-run website. Because Otterbein's a private university, the school's vice president had denied the student's request, stating he didn't believe the documents were public record. The student filed documents with the Supreme Court, asking the justices to order the release of the records. The court determined that the university's police department was established by state law to enforce criminal laws. And because of that, the department is a public office under the state's Public Records Act.
For two sisters, traveling to all 88 county courthouses in Ohio was a lifelong dream.
We've planned the trip unofficially since we were kids.
So last year, they packed their bags, buckled up, and drove across the state.
Basically just printed off a map of Ohio and kind of took a pencil and sketched in a map that we think would work.
They did it in 7 days. The sisters drove to each county, took a photo of themselves in front of the courthouse, and moved on to their next destination.
We visited 15 or 16 counties in the first day, and we were exhausted, worn out, it was too much. And so then after that, the remaining 6 days, we ended up usually between 9 and 13 counties a day.
They took note of the distinct beauty of each courthouse.
I was amazed at just how different many of them were. They were built at different times. I think the county courthouse is an important part of each community. It kind of gives them something to hold on to as their own.
In those 7 days, the sisters learned more about each other and made memories to last a lifetime.
We crashed a wedding in Cuyahoga County.
They also marveled at how their lives have changed since they were kids. One is now a high school Spanish teacher, the other is a pastor. But their lives came full circle with this trip.
Now that we're adults, I know a lot of people don't get to have, or might not have, close relationships with their siblings. And I'm happy that I do have one and that we got to spend this time together.
The Ohio Court of Claims released its 2014 annual report on May 18th. And Clerk of the Court Mark Reed said the court was able to reduce expenses while still processing cases in a timely manner. The Court of Claims reached a 108% clearance rate last year when it took in more than 1,000 new or reactive cases and closed on nearly 1,100, including cases from previous years.
Not only do we not have a backlog anymore, we're also reducing the amount of time it takes to get a case out of here. Particularly our administrative cases. We're allowed by law to get those out in 45 days. We actually rarely have any of those cases hanging around here more than 30 days.
The court was established in 1975 by the Ohio General Assembly, and it's where all civil actions against the state are tried. Reed said many claims are filed by prison inmates alleging property loss or pothole claims filed by vehicle owners against the Ohio Department of Transportation. Victims of crimes seeking compensation also file claims with the court.
We also were able to have some legislation passed that allowed us to eliminate a level of appeals that we previously did on our victims of crime cases. So they're heard faster and they move to finality quicker.
In the near future, Reed said the court will implement electronic filing and improve public access.
Springfield High School students won the second annual moot court competition hosted by the Ohio Center for Law-Related Education on May 19th. More than 100 students representing 16 high schools across the state participated in the event. The students appeared before a panel of judges and lawyers and took on the role of appellate attorneys, arguing both sides of an original case. Lake County's Gilmore Academy took second place in the competition.
That's a look at Court News Ohio's top stories. Visit courtnewsohio.gov for the latest headlines on Ohio's courts. You can also follow us on Facebook and Twitter.